You're out.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to Sports Pro. This is a new year, and a new Formula One season is here. And then we just saw the first pre-season testing session in Barcelona, and then we have a lot of exciting things to talk about. A lot of new cars, a lot of new timings, new things, new phenomenon being experienced by the cars. So we have a whole list of topics to talk about, and we have with us today, as usual, Mayank, and we have Arpit as well. All right, the first topic of the day. We talk about the lesser teams within quotes.
And one of the lesser teams just revealed the livery of the car today. Alfa
Yeah.
Romeo just released their new livery, and it is the first livery that has like some custom wheel cap designs which nobody else has tried as of yet. किसी और ने नहीं किया ना अभी तक custom wheel cap?
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Nobody
no,
else
they
did
haven't
that.
tried.
No,
Yeah,
no one.
all of them just have left the wheel caps plain,
Yeah.
like without modifying it anything.
But they are allowed to, because I thought that was
Yeah.
one of the important things which were very exciting, that they thought all the teams would do that. Like they would kind of come up with the sponsors and everything on the wheel caps, but none of the teams did that. So it was quite interesting
Yeah.
to see Alfa Romeo do that.
Yeah, maybe we'll be able to see it for the Bahrain test. I think that is when we'll start to see the
Probably.
final version of
Yeah.
the cars, right? I think
Oh.
beyond Bahrain.
Yeah. By the way, my brew's coffee today. I don't know what you guys are drinking.
I have an IPA.
Yeah. I have Tiger in the signature Tiger mug.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
a nice
that
one.
is a damn cool
That's
mug.
a really good mug.
I really want
That's the
one.
mug that both of them have been wanting for a while as well.
Okay.
But so yeah, Alfa
Yeah.
Romeo's car, it had been running in the camo for the last
Yeah.
days, essentially.
Yeah.
And so yeah, the livery looks quite nice, honestly though.
It does. It does.
Yeah, actually, there's more red in it this year for Alfa Romeo. I think last season their car looked somewhat similar to a Haas, like mostly white and then bits of red here and there. But then
Yeah.
this season it's mostly red.
You know, I always wish that, like, you know how Red Bull puts the bull at the, like the back intake.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like Alfa Romeo should put their logo somewhere there as well. It'll look pretty cool, I think. Kafi
I think they do, right? Alfa Romeo, I thought they put it in the wing at the back, don't they?
It's not nearly as prominent. That's the issue. Like they should. You know how like Alpha Tauri does it.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Alpha Tauri does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Alfa Romeo, they had a really tough testing session in Barcelona. I think they are like only a few laps in front of Haas, right, in terms of the number of laps clocked.
Yeah, that is correct. So both Haas and Alfa Romeo are had a lot of issues. So these two were the teams that faced a lot of issue in the first day itself of testing, right? They tried to fix it. Haas at least got some laps in day 2 and day 3, but Alfa Romeo's issues were still kind of continuing until
I think
it hit day 3.
Yeah, all the 3 sessions were marred with a lot of issues for Alfa Romeo. I think Haas managed to get one full session under their belt on Thursday.
Yeah.
Although they had like on Wednesday and Friday their runs were interrupted by issues.
Right.
But I think Alfa Romeo had interruptions on all 3 days.
Yeah.
And then I think Valtteri Bottas has the fewest laps among all the drivers, which is like, I feel bad for Bottas. You go from a team that runs like clockwork to, it's like a machine. It's a well-oiled machine, which is Mercedes. And then you end up in a new team, which is Alfa Romeo, and then you clock the fewest laps out of all the other drivers. I just feel bad for him, man.
I really wonder what's going on through Bottas's head.
Bottas.
But this is actually one of the reasons that they're saying that this is the reason why they're not live broadcasting the preseason testing, because apparently when they changed to the turbo engines back in 2014, there were a lot of issues.
Yeah.
And so
Cars were blowing up left, right, and center.
So to give teams some chance to save their faces, although that hasn't really happened as of yet. Nobody has been able to save their faces, but like.
No, actually, I think it went much better than the teams expected and FIA expected.
Yeah.
If you see the top, I mean, every team other than Alfa Romeo and Haas, they had decent reliability. They did manage to clock a lot of laps.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Even though Alpine, okay, so like we're talking of the lesser teams, right? So we
Mm-hmm.
talk about what Alpine, we're talking about Alfa Romeo, we're talking about Haas, we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about Williams, yeah, Williams.
I think currently we are talking about the Williams, Haas, and Alfa Romeo tier. I don't think Alpine falls.
Okay. So we're saying
Not
that
Alpine.
okay, we're not
Alpine is
including.
one. Alpine is
Okay.
supposed to be one tier
Yeah.
above these teams. But
Alpine
then,
is lower middle class.
yeah.
No, Will. Are you sure that's the L plan? L plan. So we're talking about Alfa Romeo, Haas, Williams. Williams had a good this thing testing.
Williams had a
Yeah.
pretty
Very
good
good,
testing round. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they were like in the top 4 or 5, right? In terms of number of laps clocked.
Yeah, somewhere there. They didn't seem to have any reliability issues.
Yeah.
Albon drove. He was pretty
Yeah.
good. Latifi was, yeah. So yeah, it went
Yeah.
on fire. It was.
Yeah, I still remember, like, I think 2 seasons ago, 2019, if I'm not wrong, the Williams car wasn't ready at all. And
Yeah,
they
it was
missed
not
the
even. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
missed the entirety of the first testing round. So
Right.
they managed to get their car ready only for the second round, and they were like 3 seconds behind, 3 seconds behind the next slowest car.
Oh, okay.
I think Williams, they made good steps forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same can't be said for Haas and Alfa Romeo, unfortunately.
But honestly, Pata, like it seems like the exception rather than the rule that everybody is so reliable with such a big change. Like,
Yeah.
I think goes to show how far F1 has come in a lot of
Yeah.
it. Just that like every team is just so motherfucking professional right now.
Yeah.
It's
But
like,
what I also feel is, in 2014, when they had the new hybrid era started.
yeah.
The regulations for the engine changed completely, and I think the engine is the biggest cause for unreliability, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes,
I think that's why there were a lot of issues in 2014. But if you see for this year's cars, there's not much has changed between last year's engine and this year's
But
engine.
won't
Yeah.
because the fuel composition changes, so some aspects of your engine has to change, right?
Yeah, some aspects, but the change is not major, like that big a change.
Okay.
That's
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right.
So what do you think about the drivers of like this time we have new drivers in Alfa Romeo, and we could also have new drivers in Haas, which remains to be seen. But
Yeah.
So we only have one.
Joe.
Yeah, only
One
one
rookie.
rookie though. One
Yeah.
rookie. Yeah.
I mean, Alex Albon is new for this season, but he's not
Yeah.
a rookie anymore.
He's already driven for Red Bull as
Unless
well.
you call people called Alonso a rookie last year. Oh, it's like he's the best rookie of the year.
What I want to see is, because I've always had doubts about Bottas. I've always felt that it was the car that drove him rather than him driving the car. It was something like that. I thought whatever he achieved was because of Mercedes being so good and not because of his individual strengths, right? And so that's what I want to see. I want him to prove if he's really a good driver, if he can.
I think I'll have to disagree, because before he moved to Mercedes, right, he was in Williams, and he put the car in places where it did not
No,
belong.
yeah, Williams, yes, but in Mercedes in the last
In
3
Mercedes,
seasons,
I think he was just like weighed down by expectations of being in the best car on the grid, and also he was Hamilton's teammate. Man, come on,
Yeah.
it's not easy being Hamilton's teammate.
Right,
We saw how difficult it was for like Albon and Gasly to be Verstappen's teammate, right? I think only one driver so far has achieved, the status of being not a good, like competitive teammate to Hamilton. That was Rosberg.
Wrong,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even before Rosberg teamed up with Hamilton, Hamilton had I think Jenson Button as his teammate. Jenson Button was like 9 out of 10 times he was outmatched. Right.
Right.
I think, was he Jenson Button's teammate?
not
Schumacher? No.
No. Before that, Alonso was Hamilton's teammate for one season,
Oh,
and that was
that
that was in 2007, I think. Yeah.
Oh
So
my God, that's
that was
serious.
Hamilton's rookie season,
Yeah.
like first season in F1, and he was going toe to toe with Alonso, who
Yeah.
had just come off a championship. So it's not easy being Hamilton's teammate. It is
Yeah.
not easy. I think the 80% I would say it's for Bottas, disappointing in Mercedes is because he's Hamilton's teammate. It's just impossible to match up to Hamilton, right? And he's been 10% unlucky as well, and 10% his own mistakes. That is my
Okay.
assessment of it. I do feel bad for Bottas. I really do.
So, okay. Talking about drivers, so you think Bottas will? It's tough to judge how the rookie is going to perform this year. So, but Bottas it's a very interesting role, right? For the first time, it's going to be like he's going to be driving the team. It's something like what Raikkonen was doing.
Yeah, of course.
It's something like what Alonso was doing with Alpine. Like
Yeah.
he's the one there. So that's going to be very interesting. With
That's what I'm
Williams,
hoping for, at least.
right? With Williams, we know Russell is so talented, right? But last year, many times Latifi actually outscored Russell, and his driving in those races where William was good was not. It was really good actually. I was in some races really impressed with Latifi,
Yeah.
especially in the last race in Abu Dhabi where he
I mean,
crashed. That was
hero,
the best.
hero of the season.
Exactly. So, but other than those, I think Williams Williams has a very strong lineup. I think it's better than Alfa Romeo. As so, if you compare Haas, Williams, and Alfa Romeo, I think Williams might just be the better of all these three.
I think I agree because we don't really know anything about Guan Yu Zhou, right?
Yeah.
And from the testing, you can't really make out anything about how good he is.
Right.
Also, he has a reputation that he's a pay driver. I mean, he paid his way into Formula One. So I mean, only time will tell. Only time will tell how good or bad he is. But my guess is he's going to be pretty bad. I mean, Bottas is going to whack his ass. Like,
Yeah.
Bottas is going to outscore him. My prediction, right? He's going to outqualify Guan Yu Zhou 21 or how many races are there?
23.
23. 23 out of 23, Bottas is going to outqualify Guan Yu Zhou.
And talking about buying their way, what happens to the other driver who's bought his way into the white car?
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting question. I mean now they've removed Uralkali from the car sponsor this thing logos.
Right. But he's saying that he's still going to drive. So he's still saying that he
maybe they just removed the sponsor logo, but they're still getting money from Uralkali. I don't know.
That would be interesting.
No, I don't
but
think so.
but do we feel that? But do we feel that Haas is still going to be the worst car?
Yeah, I have no doubt about it.
Hard to say. I think that Alfa Romeo could be the worst car as well.
Yeah, I think
reliability. Alfa Romeo has worst reliability, and at the end of the day, Haas versus Alfa Romeo always comes down to reliability. Like both of the cars are kind of on par. Both suck equally, or rather.
Both are going to have this thing Ferrari engines this year.
Yeah.
That's going to be good.
Hey, who's Haas's reserve driver? Do they have a reserve driver?
Who? Haas?
Yeah.
I have no idea who's Haas.
They have a
Dude.
the first in line in case Mazepin gets fired. It's going to be Fittipaldi. Pietro Fittipaldi?
Oh yes.
What's his name? I don't know his first name. Last name is Fittipaldi. I think he's from F2, right? I think he finished second.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So Haas, Alfa Romeo, Williams. Okay, let's talk about the two better teams then, because there is a gap, right? Moving on. So we have Alpine.
Yeah. Alpine and Aston Martin.
Alpine and Aston Martin.
Alpine, Aston Martin, and
Apha Tauri. I think Apha Tauri is gonna.
It's slightly better.
Yeah, I think they've come up with a really good car this season.
But I think these three cars.
They'll be the best of the rest.
Yes.
Leaving out if you consider Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren, and Ferrari as the best teams, I think Alpha Tauri will be the next best.
Okay, let's do these three cars because what I feel is in last year, Alpha Tauri was very much close. It was Alpha Tauri as a car was closer to Aston Martin. It's just I feel that Gasly was kind of the driver of the season time. He outperformed. He in that car basically day after day. You know, be it any race. I remember he got this thing where Hamilton got stuck behind him in Monaco,
Monaco.
then Monaco, even in Azerbaijan where he overtook Leclerc and then Leclerc couldn't
He got a
get
podium.
back.
Yeah.
So he's really been good. So I like that car. It looks very sturdy. They have done a lot of laps in. Yeah, I think it's going to be the best of the rest. I
Yeah.
feel so. It looks like a strong, sturdy car.
Yeah.
And I
Although
feel
I
that-
will say that Alpha Tauri has generally been better than Aston Martin even in the last season. Like not
Yeah,
even
they had a better
even
car.
if
They
it
had a
doesn't
better
come
car.
down to the drivers, like
Yeah.
even like even a rookie has the ability to overtake Vettel, which is not really something that happens that often.
okay.
Like, so from that perspective, I think that they just had a better car. I think that Alpha Tauri also gets a lot of advantage because they kind of share the R&D with Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Yep.
Okay.
So they get a lot more reliability, I think, and a lot more performance, at least from the Honda engine, which is what they're continuing with this time as well, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
the Honda.
I mean, so
engine's
it's no
legacy
longer
is what they're
called
doing.
Honda engine, I guess, because
It's not
Red
Honda
Bull
engine
have
anymore.
Red Bull have taken over.
The Honda department of
Yeah.
the engine. Yeah. So they have Honda. Aston Martin has Mercedes.
Yeah.
And
Alpine has
Alpine has
Renault.
Renault.
Renault engine.
Yeah. Which blew up. Well, no, the engine did not blow up, but they had some gearbox issue or something.
No,
where
I think
he
there was some
They had
hydro.
fuel intake issue, I think.
fuel intake issues. You're right. So the whole you could see Alonso
smoke.
covered with smoke all around him and everything. The final day, especially, and according to reports, what they are saying is the first 2 days they were being very conservative with the car. They were not trying to push it, and on the third day, the moment they started to push it, they started seeing issues with the car. So we don't know, but
But I think in terms of reality, the Renault engine has the worst reliability.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Mercedes and Ferrari have the most reliable engines, and then it's Honda, and then it's Renault. Yeah. I think Renault probably on par with Ferrari. Yeah.
In Ferrari.
Yeah. No, not Renault. Honda.
No, I think last year Honda was very good. This thing last year did not have any DNF.
They didn't have any issues. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have managed that. And Aston Martin.
Aston Martin,
it is no longer a green Mercedes. It's no longer a pink Mercedes. It's a new car. The design is something very similar to Ferrari, except for the way the Ferrari dips. They just don't have that. At least from what I'm talking about.
And they have the side slits.
Yeah. It looks good. It looks very different from the other cars, and I like the color. The color looks good as well. Yeah. And I don't know. They really clocked up a lot of laps. Didn't have any issues during testing.
Yeah.
It looks like a proper mid-table team, mid-table team, right?
Yeah.
Basically, you would expect them to come fifth or sixth, kind of.
I think this year I think it's between Alpha Tauri and Aston Martin for who gets to be the best of the rest.
Yeah.
Right. So I think Aston Martin kind of exceeded my expectations, to be honest, in testing, because before testing started during the winter break, they had a lot of turmoil within the ranks, right? People were, accusing Lawrence Stroll of being too too disruptive or something, and they fired their team principal Otmar. I don't know if they fired or he resigned.
Nobody really knows, but
yeah, nobody really knows. So there was a lot of, there were a lot of things going on in the background. So I had this feeling that they were going to bottle this big time, right? I had a feeling that their car wasn't going to be ready. Like I had a feeling they were going to have a really bad testing session, but then the car still works, and then it works pretty well.
It's a good car. It's not that bad, really. it looks good, and I think the main aim was testing was to get the mileage, and I think they achieved that. I think they would be happy with it as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Aston Martin had a good testing session. Alpine, on the other hand, I think it's a mixed bag overall.
Yeah.
They couldn't clock as many laps as the top teams.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. The day 3 basically ruined them, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was the thing. Yeah.
Alpine, I had higher expectations for Alpine. I really thought, after last season, the way Ocon and Alonso drove, I really wish that they could come up with a good car this season. I really wish Alpine just nailed the new regulations
But
to give Alonso one last shot at the championship. But that's not the case.
see, all I want Alonso is if Hamilton is winning again, for him to just not allow him to overtake. That's all I want from him. I'll be happy.
Yeah, but I must say I was a little bit disappointed in Alpine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alpine does seem to be edging closer to Williams than Aston Martin this season.
Yes.
It does seem to be going in that direction, unfortunately.
That is right.
So yeah, let's see how the reliability of that car is. Speed it's very difficult to say how fast the Alpine is this season because as you mentioned, they were not even pushing the car that much in the first 2 days of testing. So tough to gauge it on the speed, but I think the reliability doesn't seem that great. But again, it's always
tough to gauge any team's true speed at this point. But you can, the testing.
That's why I'm going by reliability.
Just because going by reliability doesn't look to be the best right now. Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching another episode of Sports Brew. If you like the content that we are putting up, click on the subscribe button, like the video, and share it among all your friends. Until next time, see you.